Okay, so back for another interview here with
Jim Bongiovanni.
Bongiovanni.
Yes, sir.
So about 2 years ago now, I met you for the first time down at Ann's Club.
Correct.
I come down to I was just some young guy training or in trialing, and you were there as field help at the time, and we met each other.
Right.
So just introduce yourself like you did to me there. What?
Well, my name is Jim Bongiovanni, and what I do professionally, or
Yeah. Just
I'm a software developer for United Healthcare. I do Mondioring as a sport, and I have 2 German Shepherds.
yeah. So it's interesting to see how everyone does Mondioring. Everyone does ring sport. There's woodworkers, there's software developers, there's professional dog trainers, and that's something that I want people to realize, that you don't have to be a professional dog trainer.
Right.
Once you find a club, they kind of take you under your wing. So, what do you call your home club?
Lone Star Mondioring Club.
Lone Star. That's down there with the Ann P in San Antonio, just north of San Antonio.
Yes.
So how did you find that club? So just typically looking at you, you don't seem like a guy that would be doing this type of stuff. What got you into it?
I wanted to do some type of dog training. I stumbled across their website, contacted Ann, and that's sort of what got me started.
So did you have any dog training background before?
Not officially. I mean, I've had pets, and I just taught them to do the basic
Things,
sit
yeah.
and stay. And
That was
things
kind of
like
my
that, but
experience
didn't
too.
have any
I
fun.
grew up on a farm, and
Right.
you needed dogs not to do things, so you more taught them what not to do, and then little tricks. So, how was your introduction into the sport? You found Ann, and you went and visited?
Yes, I went to visit, was hooked instantly. Ann and Don are great instructors, trainers.
And great promoters of the sport.
Yes, and they're very informative. They have just an enormous amount of experience.
Yeah.
Yes, and so Ann and Don actually they got a dog for me. That's what got me started.
Really. And they found your first dog for you?
Yes, actually, someone was looking to rehome a German Shepherd, and so they got Bina for me. And
that's
the
the
black and tan one
Yeah,
that I have today. Yes,
Okay.
and so that's what got me started.
Yeah, so at the time I think I come down on like a Thursday before the trial and met everyone at the club and saw y'all's facility. And what's kind of unique is everyone's facility is so different.
Right.
You know, y'all's facility is set up the way it has to be for your area, and Mondioring doesn't take on one shape or form. There's no standard cookie cutter field.
Right.
And I think that's what draws a lot of people to the sport. So you got that dog, and what was your training experience there?
Okay, well, first let me clarify. Ann and Don gave her to me, which, I mean, that was awesome. I mean, that's the type of people that are in this sport, which I think is great. So, I'm sorry, what was the question again?
So what was your training experience to that? You never trained a dog to this. I remember my first time on the Mondioring training field. I was like, I didn't even know this was possible to these levels.
Right.
And now, you know, at that time, I saw a dog and a handler that was inexperienced, and I was also in the same boat. Inexperienced, you're trying to take it all in. A dog that probably wasn't the cream of the crop, but you're working with her, and she wasn't where she needed to be at that time. But I met you. I come down and train a year later. There's so much improvement.
Right.
How do you describe your experience through training in the last year with that dog?
I learned a lot. She learned a lot, and my club and you guys, you know, just all together, we were able to get her where she is today,
and I think
where I am today.
When I saw you almost 2 years ago now, we were all a nervous wreck on the field.
Yes.
But I see a different competitor now. I've seen you trial.
Right.
And your dog performed really, really good. I think I watched your BH.
Yes.
Or your brevet.
Brevet, yes.
Brevet with that dog. And I decoyed for that dog. And your new dog, what's her name?
Connie.
Connie. And both of those dogs, they're on your leg when you send them. And that's quite impressive.
Thank you.
And I get a lot of praise, and I hope you feel the same way. That you're doing a great job with these dogs. And so do you call yourself... I see there's 2 different types of competitors in Mondioring. People that train with what they got, or people that seek out really high performance dogs. How do you see yourself right now in that?
I train what I have, But I think when it comes time for my next dog, I may want something a little more.
That's the same boat I was in.
Yeah.
I just bought a puppy.
Right.
And it turned out he was a really phenomenal dog.
Right.
But I think I see it in you that you're invested enough in the sport now.
Right.
That I think I see you want the next step in that.
Right.
So in the long term scheme, what are your long term goals?
Just to have fun.
Have fun.
You know, learn as much as I can and have fun.
Yeah. Do you inspire to ever show at nationals, or what do you think? I mean, you drove all the way to North Carolina here today. Right. Nationals can't be much farther than that.
It's not necessarily the driving or the time involved. I mean, if I can, then I will. I mean, I don't have any.
And that's what I get from you. You're a guy that's. I enjoy the camaraderie in the group. You know, we just had dinner and we're all drinking around. That's just as important and fun to me in the sport as going on the field with a dog and competing.
Exactly.
So I think I'm in the same boat. But when that dog comes for you, like you said, that shows you all the potential, I think he'll do really good. And
thank you.
I think the sport's in a position right now where some of the people that haven't been so involved are ready to make bigger steps and shedding more positive light on the sport. You know, the sport is growing more than ever in the last 12 months. Right. There's been more decoys and more clubs created in the last 12 months than probably the last few years.
That's great.
Yeah, so the accessibility to the sport is a lot more.
Right.
And what is your involvement in the club down there? Are you? I mean, you're always involved when I'm there.
Right.
Does your club designate working roles in that?
When we host a trial, yes. You know, not assign, but people volunteer to do
step up. Yeah, there's people there.
tasks, right.
And something I want to say about your sport. Every time I've been down, or something I want to say about y'all's club is every time I've been down, y'all are super welcoming. Y'all, you know, I've decoyed there. Y'all facilitate the decoys and everything. I can't say enough good stuff about you and your club down there.
Well, thank you.
You're super welcoming. You got good facilities and you got some good dogs down there. It seems to be pretty shepherd heavy, what I've seen down there.
It can be at times.
Yeah. So not too long ago, the second Mondio 3 Shepherd coming. What do you think on your next dog? What breed are you thinking?
German Shepherd.
German Shepherd too? You're just sticking with that?
Yeah. I mean, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, I heard that.
You know, and I feel that makes me a better trainer to work with what I have and learn different methods to build what I need.
I think that's some of my crutch going to be that I started with a really good dog, and I haven't had to push technique as much because he just falls in line, and I'm kind of envious of the people that do have to work a little bit harder, and I respect that a lot too. Obviously, I feel like the German Shepherd, there's not as many quality, just killer dogs out there, so you got to be a little more selective, and the guys that are Shepherd, that prefer the Shepherd. Y'all put a lot of work in on that. So your dogs, how many legs do they have?
Connie has both legs of her level 1, and Bina's got one leg of her level 1 and a brevet. So we've seen this weekend. We've been working searches and barking holds and stuff like that. So you're moving on to level 2. Yes.
It seems like something you're pushing towards.
Yes.
So I wish you a lot of luck there.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, someone asked me a long time ago what was my biggest accomplishment, and let's see if you feel the same way. My biggest accomplishment was the first step on the field. Then after that, it was the second step. Because when you take the collar off on the field, you're sweating.
Yes.
Because all I could think was, he's going to run and pee on a tree. He's going to run and pee on a tree.
Right.
But then somehow there's one horn, then there's two. Right. And then the last thing you know, it's the last horn, and you're shaking everyone's hand.
Right.
Explain that feeling to me when you got the brevet in the first leg and the level 1 on Connie. How did that feel?
So, exactly like you said, you take that leash off and you think, oh my gosh, I don't have the control that, you know,
that you're accustomed to.
Used to having, right? And so then your mind sort of starts to plan ahead and think of what you need to do, what exercises, you know, where you're going, what you're doing. And for me, I start to relax.
Yeah.
You know, my mind's processing and working on what I need to do and planning and what if this, you know, plan A and B. And so I start to sort of relax. And
analyze the situation.
Right.
You kind of got a tally in your brain of, oh, we're doing well enough unless something goes terribly wrong.
Right.
You're going to fall. So from someone that was in a position that didn't have a club and never trained a dog, you were just zooming around the line.
Yep.
What would you tell the person that might be watching this that's considering contacting the club or going out for their first seminar? Tell them what you recommend.
I would say that the sport in general, like you were saying, the people are just so friendly and no one's ever turned away, regardless of what kind of dog you have or what skills you have or don't have. Yep. If you're willing to learn, people are always willing to teach you.
Keeping an open mind,
right,
and don't be confrontational,
right.
And when I went to my first seminar, dog people are a little weird, so don't take that too much of an offense. Warm up to everybody.
Right.
We want Mondioring to be accessible to everyone, and in the last year, we've had more obedience programs, and then we've adjusted the height for the jumps and stuff. So Mondioring is moving into more of a public sport, and I think that's great for everyone because I've seen what's the weirdest dog you've seen on the trial field so far? Have you seen some really off breeds?
The bulldog we had today.
Yeah. So I've seen a miniature schnauzer.
Oh, okay.
Did
wow.
obedience only routine. He's working on his obedience 2 right now. He did
great.
You should have seen this tiny dog like onto the Sendaway running away. So
that's great.
You would say that Mondioring's accessible for everyone to a degree. Have an open mind, come out and have fun, and make new friends. That's what it's about. Right. And then the sky's the limit on the competitiveness that you want to take into there. Right. Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, I appreciate Jim you sitting down with us with the interview here today. I hope anybody that's watching, this is kind of their first introduction to you, and that's what I hope these series are. Is especially decoys and judges. Right. It's a little introduction, and then someone up north that might see you later on, they'll have a little introduction to you. Great. So it's been a great weekend training with you, and all the time we spent together down at Lone Star. Yeah. And I hope to see you again soon. I appreciate sitting down and chatting with us this evening.
And thank you, all you decoys, because you do a lot for the sport and the club. So.
Yeah, and people say we're crazy for getting in a bite suit.
You are.
But it's an enjoyment factor. I mean, all the pain and the bruises we take, and it's so good to hear. A lot of times we put our suits on and take all the bites, and the dog takes the handler takes the dog off the field. It's so good to hear it from a competitor that it's all appreciated, and I appreciate that a lot. So I hope you enjoyed this episode with Jim here, and it's a pleasure hanging out with everyone as normal. So until the next episode, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button down below, and the thumbs up keeps us motivated here on the channel. So until next time, thanks for watching. Bingo.